Oh yeah, I'm envisioning something here, Rodney.
What?
A slow zoom up to these windows for like the start of scenes, like when we come back.
Yeah.
Like that's the room that we're showing when they come back.
I'll get this cat from you. I'll carry this up.
Okay.
How's it looking?
I think it looks damn good, personally. Yeah, I think those will work well. Now I think we're just gonna plop the camera right here for another minute or two. Let it roll a little tape for footage and I'll be done, I think. I can't wait to go back in and play this back and see what it looks like on that monitor.
I bet it looks cool.
Is this for fun or for honest? Actually, we have a television show in Jasper, Indiana. It's called Spookaroonies from 1027.
Oh, okay. Well, do you guys provide appropriate sound background, or what can we do? Oh, okay.
Well,
Well, that's not bad.
Now, would you like me to turn your order in? Are you leaving now or do you want to wait?
Yeah. One more time. One more time. He hit it 2 or 3 times before he got it to knock over.
Yeah,
we are rolling whenever you're wanting to start.
Well, what is the story in? It's a town. It's also a bed and breakfast. It's the only place that I'm aware of that is both a bed and breakfast and a town. The town itself was founded in 1851 by grant of a land patent from President Millard Fillmore to Dr. George Story. And here in the Story Inn, we have the land patent downstairs on display. The town was marked with several buildings, many of which survive today, and the most prominent of which is the general store. That's the building that we're in right now. And this one was fairly new, constructed in 1916 after a fire, but the original town has many of the buildings from the 1850s still in place. Among those is the Dock Story House. The Wheeler homestead is very much intact. The old grain mill, there's a barn that's just about 100 years old, very close to where we now sit. And the town is just delightfully unchanged from the years past. We don't have many things here that would indicate that the 20th century visited here, let alone the 21st century. What is nice about this place is that it's now possible to visit here and enjoy the Story, the town of Story, by visiting the Story Inn. I can't take credit for starting the place. This was the entire town was purchased in the late 60s, early 70s by some hippies, basically, that took the town over, starting with the general store, and opened up a Earth Natural kind of a restaurant here, an organic foods kind of a place, and built or constructed the 4 rooms right above the general store, which is where we now sit. These were the initial 4 rooms at the Story Inn. And then they bought the rest of the town piece by piece, house by house, and constructed it, renovating it, bringing it back from its usually abandoned, dilapidated condition into something that was very presentable. Today, the town consists of this building, which has 4 overnight accommodations, 10 more overnight accommodations in various places around town, the old grain mill, which is a dining hall, and several barns and other outbuildings. And the interesting thing is, I didn't buy the town until just about 7 years ago. It was late in 1998. And I was just absolutely flabbergasted when I went into this room, which is called the Blue Lady Room, and went through the guest book from this room and discovered that the guests who had been staying here had written accounts about seeing an apparition, seeing a lady with long flowing white robes that would appear in the window or in the mirror. When they'd look in the mirror, they'd see her face. They would see her vaporize and just detach and disappear. Sometimes they could ask her a question or two and she would answer. Other times she would simply be silent, but her presence would be known. Now, I am not a person who believes in ghosts, and I can't take seriously any proposition that cannot be proved right or wrong. So as a person steeped in the scientific principles of being able to test a hypothesis, I didn't take it very seriously. But I will say that there are a great many things that I've experienced here that I cannot explain. And most compellingly, when I look at the old guest books from this room and from the other rooms upstairs above the old general store, I see consistent reports of people who could not have communicated with each other from different cities at different times, having written consistent reports about seeing the same thing here in this room. And the interesting thing is, the guest book accounts were in different books. In the 70s, we would, have a series of books. They'd fill up, and the 80s came, the 90s came, and so forth. And the previous owners had kept the books up in an attic, pretty much forgotten. And I went through these books and discovered, to my surprise, that there were consistent reports between books among people at different times, sometimes decades apart, who couldn't possibly have communicated with each other, who were in fact reporting the same thing. And I can't explain that. I don't have a good explanation for that. Now, what I did do is I put some of these accounts, they represent less than 1% of the total, and I put some of these on our website at storyin.com. And we started offering a glass of wine or a bottle of wine with people that check into the room, and suddenly the number of sightings went up markedly. There is a scientific explanation for that one. But what I don't understand is why or how these reports became recorded over such a long period of time, and how they could be consistent with people who are not obviously communicating with each other, and certainly have no axe to grind. There's no economic motive to this. There's nothing. The other thing that I can't explain is that a good number of my employees, people that have worked here, particularly in the housekeeping department, clean these rooms. They go through all the time, whatever room it may be, the Wheeler Homestead or the Morrison Kelly or this Blue Lady room, and they will experience things. And I find myself nodding in agreement with them when they describe the Blue Lady as a fact. The housekeeper will come down and say, I saw her. She was upstairs. And I'll say, well, you're crazy, sit down, you've been working too hard. No, I'll say, what happened? He says, well, I saw the door open, I saw the door close. I felt her. What was it exactly? So forth. And what I'm getting is a lot of people, again, with no axe to grind, no motive to speak anything but the truth, telling me about something which, again, is fairly consistent. These reports are consistent about unexplained occurrences in this room particularly, and in many other rooms. It is allegedly connected with this blue light. Now, this light has been with the Story Inn for as long as anybody can remember. If you turn the light on, supposedly you can summon the Blue Lady, and I think that's why they call her the Blue Lady. And I think it's a fascinating part of the history of Indiana. I don't. I think that if I saw her myself, I don't know if I would still be persuaded that she exists. I would have to test that hypothesis. I'd have to talk to her. I'd have to ask her to repeat the occurrence, especially in front of camera. I'd have to put my hands up to her and touch her and so forth, and see some demonstrable, evidence that she in fact does exist. But I will say that the majority of the people who work here will speak honestly of experiences, and they in fact do believe in the Blue Lady.
Cool. Okay, it's rolling whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, my husband and I are always in a bit of an argument because I am a true believer and he is not, even though I've found that around 2 a.m. sometime since we moved into Doc's story, he can be quite the believer. Honey, right, honey? I don't know. I was raised by a woman that was kind of a voodoo priestess on the barrier islands of South Carolina. So anyway, this has been part of my heritage and part of my life. But Story, I've been around Story for over a decade now and have seen quite a few things. It's never scary, even though sometimes I tend to be afraid. It took 12 years for me to see the Blue Lady, and I finally saw her this summer. And it was just the white dress walking down the stairs. But nothing truly was frightening until we moved into Doc Story's house. And one of the oddest things was, about 2 months ago, my husband and I had 3 Great Danes, and unfortunately we lost one. And we have a little dog yard, and I walked outside and I saw a dog. I saw a Great Dane. And I came back in, saw our 2 were still on their beds, walked out, came back in and said, "Oh my God, honey, I just saw Babar's ghost." That seemed absurd, that seemed insane. no big deal. Well, what it turned out when I was going through the mill, which is where we had moved from, Babar's ashes, which were in a place of prominence, one of the housekeepers, not knowing what they were in an urn, had thrown them away. And I retrieved them and put them where they belong, in the front of the restaurant. What was even more frightening was we had a young girl that stayed with us one weekend. She helped out at a wedding, and she needed a place to stay, so we let her stay upstairs. No one down here knew anything about Babar. Babar passed away before Rick and I moved onto the property. And she came down to the restaurant, ashen, the next morning, got the hell out of here, and said, I'm not going to stay here anymore. And I said, well, what's wrong, Layla? And she said, all night long, I just kept hearing a man scream, Babar, Babar. And no one on the staff knew that there was a dog named Babar or anything. We've had other things happen. You hear footsteps all the time. You can hear somebody walking upstairs. We lived upstairs, but we moved back downstairs because there were too many ghostly things happening for me to get a night's sleep. A television turning on and off one night featuring Dracula, lights on and off. It was so bizarre. Downstairs, the only part of our house that's haunted is the bathroom. And at night, sometimes you can hear a voice calling you from the bathroom. But the entire place, there are rooms, if you want to come here, that absolutely aren't haunted, and we can tell you which ones those are. But if you want to come here and you like walking on a full moon night or even a half moon night and you don't want a ghost, don't walk past the tree out back. There are rumors that a young gentleman hung himself out there. And then what else do I say? I don't know.
Let's see, what else do we have there? Any other, can you tell about like some of the people that work here, anything they've seen or...
Well, one of the things is we would be shooting this in my house, but it's dirty because the house is haunted. You know, one of the problems is none of the housekeepers will come and clean our house anymore because they've all had scary experiences, and so that's not very pleasant. Let's see. Okay, I know I can say this because you'll edit it out.
Sure. Anything.
What else? What else has happened?
The dog thing was good. Can we show the urn?
Oh yeah, you could. The urn's downstairs.
Right. We'll get that.
And then what else is important? You know, one of the things that servers will notice, and glass will spontaneously break. There is a certain table. Now, because we put a piano there, we don't have a table there anymore. And that's actually turned out to be good. We used to call that table the front table. And for some reason, glass would spontaneously break at that table. We haven't had that since, like I said, fortunately, it was a window table, so it was very popular, but there was something about it that someone would be drinking an iced tea or a glass of wine, and it would fall, it would explode, the situations would vary, but that table was routinely known for having some pretty serious issues. One of the things that's interesting is so many people that come here want to stay in the Blue Lady room because there have been a lot of hauntings. One of the oddest things is the Blue Lady seems to have a sense of her own privacy, perhaps, but since we've gotten to know about the Blue Lady room, she has moved to the Morrison Kelly. And we have more legitimate ghost sightings out of the Morrison Kelly than any other room. Now tonight that hasn't been different. That's been a little bit different because since we've been sitting up here, the Blue Lady door has been opening and closing and opening and closing, which kind of scares me, especially when I have to lock up, you know, if I have to lock up at night. But it's like I said, it's really odd. We'll get a few reports now out of the Blue Lady, but a lot of people will come here just for that, and they won't see anything, and then we'll have someone staying in the Morrison Kelly who simply came here for a quiet evening that will have the ghostly experience of their lives. Something else about Doc Story's house, and then just tell me when to stop. An IU, you think of a scientist and someone, or the wife of a scientist, as someone who is not really susceptible to believing in superstitions and ghosts. We had a couple last fall that came here, and he was associate professor of biology at Indiana University. And his wife, I don't recall what she did, but they stayed on Friday night in the dock story. That was when it was still rented out, before we lived there, and had a nice time. They came back Saturday and wouldn't accept another room and just simply wanted to leave. They didn't want a refund. She was entirely panicked. Her things had been moved around so many times by the ghost, and that's not something we've experienced as much of. But things were moved so much for her, she was so scared she simply wanted to go back to Bloomington. That was another experience.
Why don't you tell the viewers that we're going to take them on a little tour, and you don't have to conduct it or anything.
Yeah.
Say we're going to take you on a little tour, and then we will tonight go through the rooms and make sure our baggage is picked up and all that stuff. We'll go through everything and pan around downstairs. Josh has got some great shots outside. That are
good.
Really good. And then we can pull this all together within about, 5-6 minutes?
Yeah.
And instead of putting this on one of our episodes, we're going to use this a lot.
A lot, okay.
So stick it in there.
So just say?
Because I love it.
This is great. Well, so I just look at the camera and say, well...
That door's open again. I can feel the...
Oh, you know something?
And you know what? I felt it, and I was like, oh, thank you, Blue Lady, whoever opened that, because I was so hot.
No, the door has opened. Well, I'm going to get out of here because the door has opened even wider. But
do it again?
Yeah, but and there's cold air coming out. But they are going to take you. The braver ones are going to stay and take you on a fabulous tour of the Story Inn. So enjoy.
Well, I hope I'm no longer on camera because I just spilled chocolate on me.
Oh, what about that?
Creaky doors are okay. That sounds good in the background.
No, but it's not okay when it's directly behind me. It's rolling whenever you're ready.
Okay, one other thing. Before we moved into the lovely haunted dock story, my husband and I lived in a grain mill next door where a variety of just odd things would happen. But the grain mill had an interesting history. During Prohibition, Dillinger would hide out there. You can imagine what the grain mill was used for. But a couple of ladies that have a cabin near us walked up the other day. It was Friday, one of those nice 75-degree November days, and asked me if I'd had any ghostly sightings in the mill. And I said, why, Linda? And she said, we just felt this chill as soon as we walked in front of us. It felt like winter when the sky is blue and it's 75 degrees, and it just took our breath away. And there you are.
I would say
check.
Gorian. Welcome to the Gorian.
The Gorian.
That'd be a good outtake, though. I'd do it just to see what the reaction is.
Let me get some levels real fast from you. Can you talk a little bit? I need to get some.
Oh yeah, those kind of levels. So I'm sorry. Good evening. Welcome to the Story Inn.
Just talk a little louder than you are and you'll be fine. Just make sure you speak up. Because we got to keep it quiet back here, but we're using this ambient mic and it's not the best at it. Once we get upstairs, we'll be positioning mics and stuff, but I don't want to be taping microphones to the walls down here and everything else. It's too time consuming. So it's rolling.
Oh, too cool. It's awesome. It's the wind.
I know.
God does that.
Whenever you're ready.
Do the knock first.
We'll do the knock part after. You just
okay. Good evening. Won't you come in?
Yes, sir. I'm Dr. Stone, and this is my assistant, Mr. Ascare, and we've had the unfortunate situation of running out of fuel right out here on the edge of town.
Welcome to the Story Inn. We've been expecting you.
What? Expecting us?
Absolutely. Won't you come in, have a glass of wine, take the chill off?
Oh, I'll take a chocolate milkshake with whipped cream and shaved chocolate and 3 cherries.
Fred, behave.
This way.
Cool.
That'll work.
Good work. You got it?
Yep, I think so. Well, and we're rolling.
Sir, I like your house.
Treat it as your own. May I offer you gentlemen lodging for the night?
You know, actually, we are.
Docky, baby, let me handle this. Yes, we will take you up on this night's lodging. Since our driver won't be here till tomorrow, and we can put that off till then. Yeah, we'll take you up on that.
Well, let me show you to your rooms. Dinner will be served at 9.
Excellent.
We are grateful. We are. That worked. Even though we both spoke at the same time, that was. Nice place. Ooh. Tell us when you're ready.
We're rolling. Make sure you speak up.
In your room, Doctor?
Wow. Nice room. Thank you. Bed.
We're rolling.
Do it, dudes.
Ready?
Yep.
We'll put some creaky floor sounds in here.
Well, there were creaky floor sounds, so you started
We
talking.
couldn't really hear them. We want some good ones.
Okay, cut. Rolling. Very funny.
And your room?
Wow, this is excellent.
Have a pleasant night, Mr. Ascare.
Actually, it's Doktor Ascare.
Okay, Doctor. Well, if you doctors need anything, don't hesitate to call.
Thank you. Good evening.
Dolly, whenever Tim gets.
Okay.
Heard that.
Not that, but
Action.
Doc! There's weird noises in my room, Doc. I can feel the presence all around. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Fred, never, ever sneak up on me like that again.
Okay, I forgot the second part.
There'd be lots of noises. All right, ready?
All right. I'm sorry.
Still rolling. And action.
Doc!
Fred! You scared the crap out of me.
Doc,
Wrong. You gotta let him finish his line first.
Well, I could have said that, though.
Well, you're startled. You aren't gonna spit something out right away.
All right.
Action.
Doc! Doc, there's weird noises in my room. I can feel a presence all around. I keep hearing these weird noises. Give me heebie-jeebies. All right, let's do it again.
what'd you say, Josh? It's ought to be simple.
Action.
Doc! Doc, there's weird noises in my room. I can feel this presence all around. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Fred, never, ever sneak up on me like that again. What did the caretaker say? Didn't he say there will be strange noises throughout the night? Fred.
Hey, that guy creeps me out. Besides, I keep hearing this really scary voice saying, Fred, Fred. It's scaring me, Doc.
Well, you know what? It should, Fred, because you're just like being weird. I don't know what's wrong with you. You just need to get back to your room and go to bed, and before dinner, at least take a nap. That's it. And I'm serious now.
Are you?
I think that worked.
Okay, it's rolling. And action.
Fred?
Okay, let's do it one more time. Remember, the first time was when you open your eyes, you say, Fred, and then you actually sit up after that.
I didn't think I said Fred. Okay. So, snap them open and go, Fred?
Yeah, and then
sit up
you
and
hear
go,
it
Fred.
again, and then you say it again.
Okay. All right. Tell me action.
Action.
Fred? Fred!
And cut. That'll work.
Yeah. But I kept cutting her off when she said, Fred, you have lost. Fred, you have lost. And I didn't let her finish. And finally, she told me this coin was underneath my pillow. I'm so glad I got my lucky coin back.
Wow, Fred. That is a nice coin. Well, you know what? That damn blue lady, she was pretty cool.
She's hot.
I think you should do her.
All right, what do you think? You ready to try this?
I don't think he's even close to memorizing his lines yet, but we can try it. It's going to make for one hell of an outtake with a buzzed Doc Stone.
Doc is not buzzed.
Maybe you ought to put your sunglasses back on.
And then I
Maybe we won't see your bloodshot
I just
eyes
have
that
to
way.
close the show out then, right?
After you say, yeah, see, I told you, the blue lady was just trying to help you.
Right.
You were afraid over nothing, blah, 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 that spiel. Then you say, well, folks,
And then I
that's the
have to
end
look
of
back here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's close out another good night of Spookaroonies. And be sure and join us back here next week.
We'll be back.
Same time.
We'll be back here next week. We'll be home.
All right.
Be like that little kid that was at my grandson's house the other day. Said, is nobody home? No, there's nobody here. I said, well, I'll see you kids later. And this little 5-year-old kid goes, see you later, homie. He walked off.
Homie.
That's what I said.
All right. Don't come in yet. Josh, what's my lines? Seriously. He says...
He comes in, gives this coin spiel about how the blue lady helped him. You say, see, Fred, you were all worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help you.
That's
well,
my line.
Yes. Well, folks, that wraps up another
Okay.
story.
Okay. And then just wind it up.
Close.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
See, Fred, you were just worried about, what, the blue lady? Over nothing?
You were worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help.
Gotcha. All right.
And
See, Fred, you were worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, I don't need anything on, do I? No, I don't.
Set your sunglasses.
Get in. No, I've got it now.
let's just try it. This is going to be hysterical. Try and not to laugh.
No, this is going to be cool.
Okay, take 27, scene 8.
Doc, guess who I just talked to?
Who?
It was the blue lady. She kept telling me, Fred, you've lost. Fred, you've lost. I kept cutting her off. But all she was trying to do is tell me I lost my lucky silver dollar, and she helped me find it. It was underneath my pillow. I'm so happy I found my lucky silver dollar.
Well, you know, Fred, you're just lucky that you have known.
Oh, dear God. Take 28.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Fred, you're lucky what?
Fred, you were worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help you.
Fred, you're worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help you. Okay.
Then that's
Then
the
close it
conclusion
out.
of another story.
Fred, you're worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help you. Okay. All right. Worried
Take-
over nothing, just trying to help.
Take 28 and action.
Doc, guess who I just talked to?
Who?
The blue lady. She's been trying to talk to me all this time, saying, Fred, you've lost. Fred, you've lost. And I kept putting her off. But actually she was just trying to say, Fred, you've lost your lucky silver dollar. And she helped me find it underneath my pillow. I'm so glad I found it.
Well, Fred, you know what? You've been worried over nothing. The blue lady was just trying to help you. She really was. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, be sure to join us next time for more Spookaroonies.
And cut. I about laughed my ass off because you sound like Mr. Rogers, but it works.
But it was so knows.
Quiet on the set. Action.
I can't believe Doc doesn't believe me. I know I heard someone say my name. I heard it with my own ears. It was saying, Fred. Fred. Fred.
Fred. Fred. You've lost.
Doc!
Cut.
Action loud.
I'm going to. Action!
Doc!
Cut.
Say yes.
Tim, get your leg down.
Yes.
Doc!
Cut.
Will you do my entrance?
Fred, you foolish school.
Here, I'll show you how foolish I can be.
Action! God damn.
Ben,
You hush.
you just shut the door. I'm gonna kick
If I
your
want
ass.
shit out of you, I'll tell you.
If I want to shit out of you, I'll
Shut
squeeze your
the
head.
front door.
Action!
Hey, Fred. Oh, I know that doesn't work.
Time, say that again.
Don't.
Action. God damn it, Rodney.
Hang on. Dramatic pause. Fred! Were you calling me?
Doc, there's two ghosts in this room. They keep calling my name over and over and over again.
Fred, you know what? You better stop this, or I guarantee you no more classic black and white horror. You've got to stop it. Now.
Cut. Let's just call it a take. Action.
I can't be frightened. I must be fearless like Doc. Otherwise, I won't be able to watch any more classic black and white horror movies.
Okay, cut.
It starts out with the blue lady, right?
Well, we're just starting with the airline, but yeah, we'll insert the blue lady's voice.
Okay, now
And you'll be looking around by the light.
If I do it, can you? Well, all she's doing is saying Fred.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
be looking around.
All she's doing is saying
Before we
Fred.
get.
You ready?
Yep. Action.
Who's there? Oh, please, don't be a ghost. Don't be a ghost. I can't scream or no more black and white classic horror movies.
Cut. Action.
Blue lady. Blue lady.
Ready? Action. Cut. Action.
Docky, guess what I just found?
Cut.
That was cool.
Hey, Tim.
Yep.
Action.
I can't act scared. If I act scared, I won't be able to watch any more black and white horror movies.
Hey, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit, or I'm gonna have to run a mic up like underneath one of those pillows.
Okay,
Either.
let's try it again.
Yeah, it's still rolling. So whenever you're ready.
I can't act scared. Can't be afraid, or no more black and white horror movies. Why didn't I just put gas in the old cryptmobile? We wouldn't have to stay at this scary lodge all night long. Glad I got my lucky coin. Where's my lucky silver dollar? Oh, it's gone. No wonder I'm being menaced by evil. Oh.
Cut.
Cool.
Okay, just leave that door shut now, Tim. I'm gonna let that run for like 30 seconds, and that should give us all a video of that we need.
That was pretty.
Well, that was cute.
That was really
Get the
pretty.
shot.
Only a foot.
Well, keep your damn feet out of the way.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you know what? These ghosts are giving me like mixed signals. Sometimes they like me, sometimes they hate me. Josh, what do you think?
I think the fuckers need to stay away from me. I don't believe so. Let's let that run for like 45 seconds and
We got our spiel.
I hope to God we're done.
I think we are.
It's like 3 a.m. and I'm not even remotely willing to do any more.
Let's go to bed.
And there's my pet, which was laying right there, which you knocked off when you laid on it.
I'm sorry. I know I did. All right. Are you done?
After this thing gets done recording, man, do I have to piss.
Recording?
Go in there.
What are you recording?
I'm not going to the bathroom to hold your hand.
Don't worry, I don't expect you to. I think I'll just go with mine.
Well, I was nice.
It's not done recording.
I was nice and turned your bathroom light on for you, so you would know where the bathroom potty was at.